Hi,
Hi.
my name is Elizabeth. I'm here with my sister, Emily, who I'm doing the GoFundMe for. And we just wanted to make a little video, so if you wanted to know more information, maybe you're thinking about donating but you haven't had a chance yet to, or you haven't made up your mind, this can give you a little bit more information as to what we're crowdfunding for, what this is going to do, and how this is going to positively impact Emily. In this video, I'm going to ask Emily some questions, and she's going to explain for you what her life is like, some of her struggles, what she deals with every day, and then the positive benefits of seeing Dr. Harris and what that is doing for her treatment and how that is helping to cure the epilepsy that she deals with. We also wanted to give a huge thank you and a shout out to the people who have already donated. I think we're up to almost $1,300 out of our $2,000 goal. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you to Joe Chamberlain, Jeremiah Jensen, Kenneth Claymeyer, Catherine Schlotterback, Leela Smith, Rachel Peters, Connor Smith, Omi Chen, Marjorie Morningstar, Shaylin Steinhardt, Molly Harris, Madison Lai, Debbie Davison, Dawn Smith, and Robin Polly. Without you guys, we would be at zero. So thank you so much. This means so much to us. This means so much to Emily. This is going to do so many positive things in her life.
Yes, and every little bit helps. So we appreciate no matter how big or small you gave, your generosity is blessing my life.
So just from my perspective, before we get into Emily's interview, I just want to say that I have seen Emily go through more than anyone I've ever seen in my entire life. And for those of you who I've talked to about this, which I'm basically an open book. So if you know me, you've I'm sure heard about Emily and some of her struggles, but this is part of why it's hard for me to talk about because, like I said in the GoFundMe summary, if you are talking to someone who has epilepsy but you've never seen them have a seizure before, you cannot understand what that actually means in their life. And, you know, I'm not the only person in Emily's life who has seen her have seizures and have been the person to take her to the emergency room, or the person to pick her up from the emergency room, or the person to fill in when her caregivers can't be here. But it is just so insane what she has to deal with. You know, we are just searching for any solution, the solutions and the treatments that have presented themselves to us, and we are both very proactive in our research to find different specialists and find different treatments, especially Emily. You know, Emily is fighting to be cured of this epilepsy. She is going to stop having seizures, and it's going to be because of her and because she hasn't given up. She's never come to a point where she just said to herself or others, oh, I'm just going to have seizures for the rest of my life. She does not believe that, and I do not believe that. And that is why we're doing this fundraiser, because this is the treatment that seems to be working the best. And even from what I've seen in the last 5 or 6 weeks with Dr. Harris, Emily is improving so much. And when we get to a point where she hasn't had the small seizures for 5 weeks and she hasn't had the giant seizures for 3 weeks, that is amazing. And it every time it's a milestone. And it just makes me so grateful for what Dr. Harris is doing. Aside from seizures, Dr. Harris is also helping improve Emily's light sensitivity, her sound sensitivity, and her smell sensitivities, which is amazing because that is another thing that affects her life so much. But I've just seen so much improvement and so much of her now feeling more confident also to do certain things on her own, where she has lived most of her life kind of depending on at least someone else to be there to observe what she's doing in case she has a seizure, if not just fully do it for her, you know, like washing her hair, helping her bathe, cook, clean,
The doctor's appointments.
transportation, taking her to her doctor's appointments, which she has more doctor's appointments than anyone else I've ever met. You know, only because she just, every time she has a tonic-clonic seizure, there is usually some kind of injury, even if it was a relatively safe incident that happened. But for the most part, I mean, can you really imagine like what it would be like to live your life having seizures and without an aura, which means you are unable to feel them coming on? Like imagine any single task you do in your life, in your day-to-day life, and then imagine if you suddenly had a seizure while doing that. Now, Emily has experienced that for basically everything any normal person would do in their daily life, you know, for over 20 years. This is why we are continuing to look for new forms of treatment and, you know, leaving what doesn't work behind us and just constantly moving forward. And Emily is one of the strongest people I've ever met in my entire life to be able to suffer just limitlessly and then to be able to come back from that, to heal, to overcome injury after injury after injury, and then get back on her feet and say, you know what? We are moving forward. We are finding the next thing that we need to do. So, you know, I'm just so grateful to have her in my life, and I just really need her to be able to continue doing these treatments. So thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to her experiences. Please share this video, share the fundraiser, and of course, donate if you can. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Elizabeth, I love you.
I love you too.
Hi, my name is Emily Chamberlain, and I am creating this video with my sister Elizabeth Chamberlain, who is helping me with this GoFundMe to raise funds for me to see a specialist about my disability and medical issues. This fundraiser is helping me to afford to see a specialist who is not covered by Medicare or Medicaid, and so she has to be paid out of pocket. I am on disability, so my income is $800 a month, and so I cannot afford to see her twice a week for 3 months. So these funds are enabling me to go get the treatment that is actually helping my body. Dr. Harris is a chiropractic neurologist, and so she works with people who have neurologic issues. For me, that is epilepsy and also fibromyalgia. And so then she uses chiropractic methods and several other methods to stimulate the areas of the brain that are damaged, weak, undeveloped, or injured, to actually stimulate neuroplasticity and brain growth. So in my brain, that is the right frontal cortex, as well as some of my brain stem. And so Dr. Mary is stimulating these areas of my brain, and we are seeing my sensitivities, my seizures are also, the focal onset aware or partial seizures have actually stopped. So she is helping my brain to heal itself. She has given me an entire page full of homework, and one of these is these sunglasses because of light sensitivity, because the right frontal cortex is actually where light sensory as well as sound sensitivity, as well as, so all of the senses are processed at the right frontal cortex. And so I am wearing these sunglasses because I've had such severe light sensitivity. My eyes, when we first started, actually didn't dilate and retract the way they were supposed to. And so this is teaching my eyes how to retract without the influence of light. So I'm supposed to wear these basically from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. Other homework, dietary changes. So I am now gluten free and dairy free since the beginning of June when I started. I am also taking supplements. I am taking a lot of fish oil as well as some probiotics that are actually building gut culture and helping heal my gut and immune system as well as dietary system. There are plenty of stretches that I am supposed to be doing. There is smell therapy. So I have 5 different essential oils, and through the right nostril, I sniff each one 5 times, and I'm supposed to do that 3 times a day. Gargling, there is to stimulate the taste reflex, or sensory stuff. There's the gag reflex. There's I bought an app for my phone that I look at for 20 seconds, 10 times a day, and it helps stimulate my eyes to follow. And as I'm following the images across, it helps stimulate that area in the right frontal cortex. And I also am doing at least 2 mazes a day to also help stimulate that area of my brain. Well, as far as my body, these focal onset aware seizures started about 2 weeks before I started seeing Dr. Mary. I have now been partial seizure free for over 3 weeks. That's been really exciting. So I am extremely looking forward to becoming seizure free. And by becoming seizure free, as well as she is very focused on reducing inflammation and pain in my body. So fibromyalgia, if I can get rid of both of those, then I can actually get off of disability and I can go to work. I can have a job. I can do ministry. I can go on mission trips more easily. I can actually make my own food because I have, when I have a caregiver, I am able, they do a lot of meal prep for me because seizure safety. If I'm chopping something and I have a seizure and I stab myself, well, bad things happen, or pulling something out of the oven. I'm excited because I will be able to take showers without having someone in the house to keep an ear out for me. Because if I have a seizure in the shower, crack my head open on a bathtub is probably not a good thing. So, generalized tonic-clonic seizures I have dealt with since I was 13 years old. 8th grade English class. It'll be 22 years this next October, 2021. And so I do not sense that coming on at all. I wake up and I'm on the ground and I have to assess my situation. Okay, am I injured? Am I able to move? What is hurting? Is there anything broken? Do I need to call an ambulance? Do I need to call my mom? Do I need to, who do I need to contact? Do I just need to go crawl into bed and go to sleep? So I've dealt with a lot of injuries. So like this right here is from an injury that happened in April, that I'm still recovering from in my wrist, as well as foot injuries, cracked teeth. I've had 6 broken noses, and so I am waiting to get a nose job because this 6th one has caused issues in my nasal bone so now it's crooked. I'm having difficulty breathing through my mouth. There's been issues with finances, with housing. So I am right now on the third floor of a Section 8 apartment building, and third floor, not safe if I have a seizure in the stairwell. So thankfully I have not yet, but I am really looking for a place seizure safe, a place to live that is on the first floor, but that is very difficult to come by right now because of COVID. There is also a lot of as far as sensory issues that come with that, so sound sensitivity. So like if I go to church, I literally cannot be in the sanctuary during worship time because of the volume level. I have to go in, wait outside, worship outside by myself, and then during the sermon I'm able to go back into the building because the volume level is more quiet. There is a lot of difficulty with my family and friends who have children, screaming munchkins, so I'm not able to really interact with people, especially people with loud, high-pitched voices. They can cause a lot of issue for me, and difficulty just being able to interact with people in general. So before I found out about Dr. Harris, I have had 22 years of seizure experience and have been looking for treatments. I have seen naturopaths. I have been on 17 different anti-epileptic drugs. I've had seizures on every single one, along with the side effects, which also the primary side effects of seizure meds are depression, suicidal ideation, and weight gain, and I've had to battle all of those all of my life, and because I am still on seizure meds, but still having seizures on them, along with other side effects of that come with those. I have seen, I think I'm at about 10 different neurologists, and everyone has just passed me on to the next one, and including a epilepsy expert in Washington who decided to try the vagus nerve stimulator, and that is actually not even for the type of seizure that I have, the generalized tonic-clonic. It is a surgery. A device is implanted into my chest with a wire up my vagus nerve to trigger the brain, and then if I go into a seizure, someone takes the magnet, swipes it over to send a stimulation to try to stop the seizure. So I had that for about a year and a half, but it wasn't helping with seizures, and the pain level, because of the fibromyalgia, which is a lot of pain, sensory nerve, very sensitive, a lot of pain, it was causing more pain, and with that problem I had to have it removed, and so now I actually have a very big scar on my chest, and I still have pain from that, as well as the little plug-in things again in my vagus nerve. The doctors, when they removed it, the electrical wire, they had to leave it there, so now I can no longer have an MRI from basically my belly button up. And with all of the injuries that I get from seizures, that is a very frustrating issue to deal with. What I would like to accomplish when I no longer have seizures is to be able to get off of disability 100% and hopefully off of all other government support, as well as to get a job, whether it's working from home or going somewhere to work, and being able to have my own financial stability, as well as driving. That is going to be a very nice thing because transportation is also a very difficult and frustrating thing. So I'm not able to go to events because of transportation or lack thereof. Um, I am also looking forward to going on more mission trips because I have been on one to Ghana, Africa, and I hope to go back there. I hope to go to Pakistan. I hope to go to Zimbabwe, as well as several other nations, and I hope to be able to go to an event and not have everyone be, oh, did you have a seizure? Oh, are you seizure free, or do you have any more? Or have anyone. I would love to have relationships where that is no longer a concern. I am so grateful for my family and how my family has supported me through this and really done a lot of investment of their time, of their resources, of their finances, and just of being a support to me. I am very thankful for my friends who have been with me and seen seizures and still been my close friends and said, hey, you know what, that's not gonna affect me. I am so thankful for what I do have and for my relationship with the Lord, and just being able to still be able to do my hobbies, like sewing, like play guitar, like um, just hang out with people. I'm very thankful for what I am able to do. For this fundraiser, I am absolutely astounded by the generosity that I have seen so far, and I am just so blessed and so thankful that everyone who has given or just shared this so that other people could give. Is it just mind-blowing of the support that I really do have in the greater community, even for people that I don't know, they still are supporting me. I so much appreciate that. And then just this doctor, Mary Harris, her support is, and her work, the fact that it is actually working in my life when I've had so many others who say they are going to help me and they don't. We are seeing results, and she is helping me.